Being towed to a charger is every EV owner's biggest nightmare. We get asked questions about charging more than anything else. There are so many misconceptions surrounding charging that has spooked many non-EV owners from even considering to convert to electric. We want to help everyone see that there are a lot of charging solutions for any occasion, and being towed to a charger is simply not common. You've seen us drive in all sorts of conditions, on mountains, through dirt roads, and even on the steepest street in America. Here are our 10 ways to charge while road tripping. But before we delve into the different types of charging, let's start with the most basic, which is where all of our road trips begin. Every road trip starts at home so that we can leave with a full charge at the cheapest cost. We use a Tesla wall charger at home because it gets 45 miles an hour at 48 amps. But an alternative would be to also get a Nema 1450, in which you would get about 30 miles an hour, but you would have to use your universal mobile connector. Trickle charging is one of the most basic forms of charging. It can be done almost anywhere. This is what we do typically when we're in an Airbnb that does not have an EV charger. We just plug in overnight, and it's a slow charge, but you will gain a decent amount of miles back on the car since you are going to be parked while you sleep anyways, so it's usually a decent amount of time that you can be plugged in. We have been trying to find the chargers here at Disney. There's like a few in every parking lot, and we're here at the Grand Floridian, and we finally found the little outlets here that you can plug into, and there are quite a few that were iced, although I don't actually blame these people because there's no signage telling them what it's for, which maybe they should do here to help people with EVs. But we're gonna plug in the car and get some trickle charge while we're here all day. Trickle charging is a slow charging option. However, in situations such as this one, the car will be parked in the parking lot all day anyway while we visit Disney. Therefore, getting a slow charge is not a big deal. This is free charging with the resort stay, and it gradually fills the car up while you're off having fun. And it's working.
One of the things I wanted to point out with trickle charging, and really didn't really even occur to me until this cabin, is make sure you're checking those external outlets to see if they're a 15 amp circuit or 20 amp circuit. So you can see here in one hand I'm holding your standard 110 outlet, which is for a 15 amp circuit, and then on the other hand I have one that actually has one of the prongs turned to the side, and that is actually for a 20 amp circuit. The difference is this will charge at 12 amps and this will charge at 16 amps. We actually have the car plugged in right now with one of these, and we're charging a little bit quicker. Again, it's not much, but every little bit makes a difference, and we'll get more overnight charge that way.
So how much extra do you think you're getting?
It's the difference of maybe 4 miles an hour versus 6 miles an hour.
Okay. Here's the setup, what it looks like at our Airbnb. Plugged in.
Alright, so as you can see, we're currently trickle charging here right now with our standard 110 outlet. Although one additional item that we picked up for this road trip is actually an extension cable for your standard 1430 dryer outlet. You know, I thought about it a little bit, and I figured that a good 50-foot cord could reach the dryer outlet in a lot of places that we stay. I thought about a 1450, although if it's a 1450, it's usually going to be for an EV, so you're going to have easy access to it without needing an extension cable. And the 1030 is more outdated, so I figured this is really the one to go with. So we're going to give this a shot here, and this will probably give us about 22 miles of range per hour instead of the 4 miles of range per hour that we get with the standard 110 outlet. And then right over here is where we have the dryer right through that window. So I plan on hooking it up there, bringing it out the window, and then we can connect it to the car right here. Probably won't even need half this length.
Sometimes when we need alternative forms of charging, we head over to Plugshare. Using Plugshare, you can search for different charging options in the area you are visiting. You can even filter for a specific type of plug. Here, you can see that this location shows the availability of a Nema 1450 plug. This is how we found the Nema 1450 at Lake Norman State Park. It was a very convenient location where we were able to plug in, get a fairly decent charge while going off and enjoying the park. Another alternative form of charging is to visit a campsite. Most campsites will have a hookup that will most likely have several charging options. Sometimes campgrounds will allow you to pay to charge your car even if you aren't staying overnight, and you can look for those on Plugshare. It is likely they will want you to pay for the site overnight, though. This is still a great option, especially if you enjoy camping. Teslas actually have camp mode that allows you to utilize the AC and/or heat without draining too much of the battery. There are companies that make mattresses that can blow up to fit inside the back of your Tesla. You can sleep and charge overnight. If sleeping in your hatch is not your thing, you can pop a real tent next to your car at the campsite. There even is this really innovative company that is launching a tent that can provide the outdoorsy feel without compromising on comfort. You can attach the tent to your Tesla to provide AC and/or heat straight into your tent. This is a really neat idea considering we live in sweltering Florida. If you are not much of a camper, by far the best solution to charging your car while on the road is to stay at an Airbnb or a hotel or resort that has EV charging. This is a great way to get a free charge and potentially start your day with a full charge before taking off.
Urban superchargers, not to be confused with the newly introduced V4 superchargers, which look similar, were the first superchargers to be introduced that do not share power between cabinets. They only charge at 72 kilowatts, therefore are commonly placed at locations where you typically spend a little bit more time for another purpose other than just charging. This particular urban supercharger is in the parking garage of a grocery store. V2 superchargers charge at either 120 or 150 kilowatts. Most 120 kilowatt chargers have been updated to 150 kilowatts, however, some still remain. The key consideration for a V2 supercharger is to avoid using a cabinet that already has the same number in use. We recently stopped at a 150 kilowatt charger and plugged into cabinet 4B. While we were inside the store, someone plugged into 4A, which dropped our charge speed down to 75 kilowatts. Our charge was already tapering, so it didn't affect us too much. However, if the other individual would have picked another cabinet that had both the A and B of the same number open, sharing power would have been avoided. V3 superchargers can charge at up to 250 kilowatts and do not share power between cabinets. In order to maximize the charging rate, plan your stops to arrive with a low state of charge, since a depleted state of charge pack charges faster than a higher state of charge pack. The other main tip is to set your navigation to the supercharger, which will automatically cause your Tesla to precondition your battery pack for optimal charging upon arrival.
The most common type of charger is the J1772. Every Tesla comes with a J1772 adapter. These can be used at ChargePoint, Blink, EVgo, among many others. We often find these at places with stores or other amenities that you can visit while charging. Here we are in the Pittsburgh Strip District plugging into a ChargePoint. If you haven't checked out our channel yet, please hit that subscribe button and check out our travel videos in which we show how we charge within a specific road trip and show our travel footage of the destination as well. We've put a lot of miles on our cars road tripping. In fact, we've done over 13,000 in our new Model Y in just the past 10 months. Hopefully you have found this list of our most commonly used forms of charging helpful. We will also include the links for things that you have seen in this video in the video's description.